All right, guys, looks like we are live. Welcome back to your Friday Q&A session. And this session is dedicated to session number 4, technical SEO. I see a lot of you guys are already here, but I guess we should be waiting for another 2 minutes for people to join in. In the meantime, let me know, how did your assignments go? Or how did your session number 4 go? Was technical SEO really technical? I can see Harshita is here. Hi, Avinash. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Dod is here. Ashutosh is here. Anmol is here. Hi, Suresh Kumar. Hi, Mitra. Hi, Debanjali. Session 4 was good. The session was cool. Stuck with the assignment. Need your help. I'm right here. Article is damn time consuming. And that's a huge part of your SEO, right? If you do not have anything to serve or cater to that demand that's there out there, there's no point of doing SEO. So the more you're consistent with creating content, it can be in terms of video or in the text format, but you have to create content. That's very, very, very important for your SEO. Session 4 was overwhelming, but slowly learning it. All right, Avinash. As you go through the rest of the sessions, I'm sure you're going to feel more comfortable doing all of those things. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'm right here to answer all of them. And maybe let's start with the task sheet first, and then we'll go back to your questions from your Q&A tab. So just make sure you don't drop in any questions as of yet in the Q&A tab. And we can then take up questions from the Q&A tab. Assignment is tough, says Mitra. What part of the assignment is tough, Mitra? Let me know. And Dodd is saying waiting for Friday to have you. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Dodd? Good, sir. All right. Any shortcut to write content? There's no shortcut as such, but what happens is, as you continue to generate more and more content, you will notice that you'll start consuming less amount of time. It's just the practice that you have to develop. It's just the habit that you have to develop, right? It's all in that muscle memory. Basically, when you're driving the car for the first time, you're obviously going to pay attention to each and everything that's around you, right? You're looking at the rear mirror, you're looking at the main mirror, you're also concentrating on your gears and everything, right? But eventually, after you ride it for, like, say, 1 year, it's all going to happen without you noticing it. That's exactly what you'll be doing with content as well, right? The more you do it, the better you'll get. Don't worry about it. It's just that you have to spend some time in the beginning. Is it wise to write down the article on a sheet with the pen and then type it out, or just type it down as it goes? What do you suggest, Rez? I don't know if it makes a difference that way. I don't think it does personally, but I'm not sure about how others are feeling about it. But I like to, what I try and do is, first I go ahead and like research about the topic, and then I make an outline first, right? So what are the possible things and subtopics that might go inside this article? That's the first thing that you should be writing out, right? Then you'll have all of these different blogs, and then what you go ahead and do is you go ahead and like research on these particular blogs, and then you write it in your own words. That is what I would suggest. And never try to complete your article in one single day, right? Because when you leave it there, sleep over it, and come back the next day and look at it, you might feel like you can add in more to the article, you can have a different angle to it, and that's when it gets better. That's what I've seen, at least with me and our copywriters and content writers. I don't know what works. You have to like try out a couple of things and see what works the best for you. True, Mitra. True, 100% true. Uh, I would not disagree with you, but we have to do it. I guess with the site architecture and mobile SEO, it's hardly going to take 30 minutes of yours, right? You have nothing much to do with site architecture. You just have to create two categories, assign that post to that categories, and then add it to the menu. I don't think so that part of it is going to take a lot of time. Again, with mobile SEO, it's not compulsory that you implement it for your website later on, but it is just that you get to know it, right? So I'll show you a couple of things, but that's that. I know it's tedious, but we have to go through this. Harshita, yes, obviously you might not be able to send your attachments here. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll take it in the group or in the personal chat if you have to share some screenshots and everything. Yes, that definitely we'll start from question number one. Are we good to go, guys? Can we start the session? All right. So let me start sharing my screen. Let's go through the task sheet first, and then we can get back to your questions in the Q&A tab. So let me quickly open up our task sheet for assignment 4. Excited, says Raksha Shenoy. All right, guys. Yeah, go ahead and like create 1,500 words pillar article. Make sure you can at least like add in 4 or 5 internal links to other subtopics that you might write now, that you already have written in the first and the second session. If not, make sure you kind of like prepare the next 3 or 4 articles when you're writing this particular article. So make sure you have that opportunity to link to another 3 or 4 articles from this pillar content that you're going to write, right? And make sure you highlight the keywords. Like always, you can go back and like rework on your keyword research if you think that you haven't got enough, got a broader keyword enough, right? You can go back and like rework on the keyword research, and please make sure you add in those keywords here, whatever new that we are doing. Like for example, Shanta had written 1,000 words article for the last assignment. I guess it's Shanta only. So and she wanted to change it to 1,500 words and write 1,000 words this time. That's absolutely fine, guys. So you just have to like write a disclaimer here saying that this is what we have done, and just check it once with Jackson and the other mentors here before you go ahead and like decide on those things. But it's absolutely acceptable, so not a problem. So yes, a lot of you guys uh, wrote articles that were less than 1,000 words and were plagiarized. So make sure you don't do it. Checking your content in a plagiarism tool is the second thing that you should be doing. The first thing that you should be doing is making sure you're writing everything that you have researched about in your own words. And just because there's one sentence very similar in your article and in the other person's article, it doesn't mean the article is plagiarized. We go through all the article content and we make sure that an entire paragraph is not copied, right? Only then we calculate that particular plagiarism for that particular paragraph only, right? It's just not like we found a matching phrase or a sentence in a different blog, we are going to mark it as plagiarism. We don't do that. So the first thing for you to be doing is writing in your own words. And yes, obviously go ahead and like on page optimize it for SEO. Use the 17 checklists that we have given and go through all the rank math suggestions for on page SEO, and make sure you have a score of 80 plus there, and publish it on your blog, at least interlink with the first two articles that you've done, and have a minimum of 4 images. Is that clear, guys? And you just have to paste the content here, and below this line paste all the content of your 1,500 words article, and make sure you publish it on WordPress and drop in the link to the published article here. Is that clear? All right. So create at least 2 categories for your blog or website, assign the categories and blog post to a menu, take a screenshot of your menu page from the WordPress dashboard. Do you guys have any confusions with this particular question? Question number 2, I can like quickly hop in and show you if you have any doubts as such. Otherwise, we can like move ahead to the please show, sir. All right. All right, please show. Okay, let me just hop into the demo website here. Right. So once you're here under post option on your left hand sidebar, you will see something called as categories. Click on it. Right, depending on the niche and depending on the type of articles you're writing, you can create different categories. It's completely left up to you on how you name them and everything. For example, for the dishwasher blog that we have reviews, we have comparison reviews, right? And we have a couple of knowledge based articles. So we have created those three categories. What you can do is, I guess by default, you cannot delete this uncategorized post. So what you can do is either edit it or just keep it as it is and don't assign it to any of the other posts. For example, so I'll just name this category as HIT SEO. You can leave the slug empty here, right? Because it's going to take from your name itself. So I'll click on add new category here, right? So it went ahead and like created the category, right? The slug here is HIT SEO -SEO. And now what you can do is slug is just the permalink, Anmol. So basically the permalink is for post, and for categories, it's called a slug. It's just the category link that you find on top of this page. So if I click on view here, you should be able to see the slug, right? SaaS product review // HIT SEO, right? This is the permalink, which is why it's called a slug. That's the only difference here. So once you do that, let's go to all posts or any of your posts that you want to categorize it to, right? Assign that category. So now here you will see this categories column, right? So it's called as uncategorized. By default, it will be you will assign any new post to this particular category. So what you can do is click on it, edit the article, and on the right side options bar, you should be able to select categories. Right, make sure you are in the post tab here and not in the blogs tab here. So once you scroll down, you will see something called as categories here. Right, now that you have added a new category in the category section, you will see it here. So you can just uncheck the uncategorized category and assign it to HIT SEO category. You can also create a category, quick category here. Let's say, for example, I'll create something called as knowledge. And if this knowledge is a parent category under or is a subcategory under HIT SEO parent category, you can mark the parent category as HIT SEO, or you can just leave it as it is and click on add category. And you see that we have selected two categories here. You just have to update this particular post, and now we have assigned your article to these categories. Is that clear, guys? So next what we have to do is go to your WordPress menu and go to appearance, and you'll find something called as menu here. Click on menu. Right, this is for you to assign your categories and your posts into your home page, right? So that it's very easy for your users to like jump into your website and find their way to this particular article. Right now you see home, about, services, contact. These are all individual pages. We'll talk about this later on. But what you can do is you already see a dummy menu right here. So you'll see something called as primary menu. That's what you should be having. Or is it navigation menu? This again depends on your individual themes. All right. So this isn't very clear for all the themes. It's not the same for all the themes. Certain themes might have slightly different options here. But make sure you just select primary menu here when you're creating a new one. So what you can do is I'll just say HIT SEO has the menu here. And let me first remove everything that's here. Right, all of these junk pages. Let's have home, about, blog. And now what I'll do is I'll like click on primary menu, currently set to navigation, and click on save here. This is how you create. There's no create button as such. yes, it is compulsory for you guys to create a menu as part of the assignment, right? So now you have created this particular menu. When you click on save menu, it gets created automatically. So now what you can do is you will see the pages drop down here, toggle button here. So what you can do is like first click on post here, right? Or you also have categories here. So I'll click on HIT, SEO and knowledge. So I'll assign them to the menu here. So it comes here. And now what you can do is you'll have two posts. I'll first add them to the menu and then assign them under the categories. All right, now you can see, one second. All right, sorry about that. Now that we have added both the posts that we have created here under the menu, so what you can do is like just click and drag it slightly under the HIT SEO category, right? You can see that slightly if you like drag it to the right, you get this indent here and it gets added under HIT SEO. Can you guys see this? We can do the same thing with this one here. Right now, there are two posts that have been assigned under HIT SEO category and one under knowledge category. So once you do this, click on save menu. And let's also like refresh the home page here and see if that has made a difference to the menu. Looks like it has not, because okay, right now it has done it. All right, so now we can see that home, about, blog page is also here. I guess this has to do something with the theme, guys. So don't worry, there's a particular template that has been added. So I guess the text color has changed here. But you can see on the left bottom of my screen that you can see that there is a link that pops up, right? It's going to the article, how to create user personas. Are you guys able to see this on the left bottom of my screen? Right, so it's there, but it looks to be a glitch with the theme, or the color has separated. So you'll see this category here, and then you'll see the posts that are under those categories. So I'll just like, yeah, you can see the link here. So basically it opens up to your particular post. Don't worry, Anamika, you should be able to see with your theme. So I just right clicked on it and like opened it up in a new tab. So you can see that it goes to that particular post that we added under this particular category, right? How to create user personas for effective marketing. So it's here. So basically for you guys, it'll like show up. You don't have to worry since you have not changed. We have played around with the theme and everything, which is why I guess the text color is white here. That's the only problem. So what you can do is from your appearance and menu section, just take a screenshot of the entire screen. Make sure your domain name is also visible. Just take a screenshot of this entire page and paste it in the second question here. Is that clear, guys? Can we move ahead to the third question? All right. So the next one is for you to share your URL of your robots.txt file. So for that, we'll go to your rank math option. Luckily, you have the rank math plugin. So it makes things easy. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to create a text file, and then that file you have to drop it in the file manager of your cPanel. But with rank math, it makes it very easy, right? So once you go ahead to rank math and under general settings, you'll see this edit robot.txt file. I guess most of the people, I guess 90% of the people should be able to edit this. If you're able to edit this, please go ahead and like edit it. But if you're not able to edit this, just like send us a support ticket. There are a couple of issues for a couple of websites which are hosted under WPX. They have some security issues, which is why they have not hosted the robot.txt file where it should have been. So it's in the different root folder, which is why you might see an error here, error that says but for 90% of you guys, you should be able to edit this, right? So you will get all of these details from Sanjay's robot.txt file, sanjayshanoy.com/robots.txt file, right? You don't have to worry too much about this. You just have to like copy paste this entire thing inside your rank math robot.txt file. Just copy paste everything here, click on save changes. Yeah, whatever is here, you can just delete it or like select it and like drop in the, just paste it so it get replaced. So it shouldn't be empty, or you make it empty first and then just add whatever is here. There shouldn't be anything else along with this. Just make sure you copy this entire file and drop it here, right? And then click on save changes. As soon as you click on save changes, it might not reflect very soon for a couple of websites. It's completely fine. There is that you, along with WPX hosting, you have got this CDN and cache, right? So there's a cache that WPX installs on your website. So it takes certain amount of time for it to get cleared and get refreshed so that you can see the newer version of your website. So just click on save changes and let it be for some time. Give it like an half an hour or 1 hour, and then you can come back and see it. It should be updated. So once that is updated, you can open up your website in a new tab, right? And then just add in robots.txt here, and you should be able to see the file, right? You can see the entire file here. So that's pretty much it. So you're just letting Google crawlers know that you don't have to like come ahead and like index all of these pages, so that you kindly save on the crawl budget that they are going to assign it to you. Is that clear, guys? The entire file is here. You can go ahead and like look at it, and you'll see that it is going to disallow author files, tag files, comments, feed, trackbacks, and a couple of other files that you shouldn't be actually indexing, or is it's unnecessary. Harshita, for client's website, what you should be doing is you just have to create a text file, right? TXT file on your desktop, copy the entire thing, and ask your developer or whoever your client is to drop it in the cPanel folder. Depending on what CMS you're using, there would be an option. You can just Google it where to drop it. For WordPress, I guess it's under WP this thing public underscore HTML file. So you just have to drop it basically. So the developer might know it where to drop it. You just have to create them this file and give it to them. They'll do it. Or if you know coding yourself, you can just like Google and see if you're using PHP or whatever other CMS that you're using, and just like drop it. It's also going to be implemented. So basically, I would recommend that you disallow the categories as well. But if you do not want to disallow categories, you can just like remove it from the robot.txt file here. Yes, Rahul, Sanjay's robot.txt file is something that you have to drop it in your rank math SEO plugin, but it is just the content of the robot.txt file that's going into your website. There's nothing from Sanjay's website going into your website. So you don't have to worry. It's just the file. It will be under your domain name only. It is just that you don't get too much worried about what are the things that needs to go into robot.txt. It's already there. It's mostly the same for all the smaller websites, medium to small sized websites. Right, you click on save changes and you're good to go. Is that clear, guys? Harshita, please drop in your questions in the Q&A tab so that I can like answer it later on once we finish up the task sheet first. Yes, you have to take a screenshot from this particular page and also share the link to your, we have asked for the screenshot. Just take a screenshot from this page and open up your domain name and add robot.txt to the URL and just paste it here. Anmol, this part from the rank math screen that you're seeing right here, whatever is on my screen, you can just take a screenshot from here. All right. And then what you have to do is you have to enter the URL of your sitemap and submit it inside your search console. So again, you just have to make use of rank math here to create the sitemap. So I'll just click on Shanta. The URL for robot.txt file under your domain name is your domain name /robots.txt robot.txt. That's it. sanjayshonai.com robot.txt. That's the same for your domain name / robot.txt. Right. So under rank math, you'll see something called a sitemap settings here. Right. By default, all of these settings are in place. So for now, you are good to go with 200 links per sitemap. So what you can do is click on categories. You don't have to include this in your sitemap because your robot.txt file has already said Google crawlers that we are not going to, we do not want you guys to go ahead and like crawl our category pages and index it, which is why you do not have to include it in the sitemap. Otherwise, like the crawlers might get confused. So make sure you like this, allow this, right? Turn off this toggle. The tags is, I guess, by default turned off. Just make sure that those are there. So you just have to toggle on the post and pages part for now. Right? You include them in the sitemap. You include this in the sitemap, and click on save changes. And you will also get the URL of this particular sitemap right here. So I'll just open it up here. Right. So I'll go back to the sitemap index. So you can see that there is something called as post-sitemap.xml page-sitemap.xml. Right. So all of these are again like pillar pages. So under this, all of your posts will be indexed. All of your pages will be indexed. Right. Do you guys remember that you went ahead and like you went to your search console, use the inspect URL tab here, and then you kind of indexed your website, right? So what you're trying to do here is, so why we asked you to index your domain page is because we wanted Google to know that you are existing right now. So from now on, what you can do is, since it has already indexed your homepage, you don't have to necessarily, when you're creating a new post, you again don't have to come here and like index all of these pages individually, which is the reason why we are creating sitemap. So that as soon as Google come to your website, it goes through your robot.txt file. It understands that these are the URLs or pages that I shouldn't be crawling. And then what it does, it comes to your sitemap underscore index.xml file. And then it will realize what are the important pages that Google has to index, right? So by default, whenever you create a new post, it will get linked to this particular sitemap automatically. You do not have to do anything. And then when Google comes to your web page, it goes through your sitemap. It understands that you have created new pages and new posts, which has to be indexed, and will index it automatically. Is that clear, guys? 1 minute, guys. So it's asking me to let me go ahead and like open up any other property just to show you guys. So yeah, so once you come down here, you will see that you'll see this option called as sitemaps under index. You just have to enter the sitemap URL here. So what has happened here is you will get the URL of the entire thing. Just don't copy the entire thing because sitemap has already detected your domain name, right? So it's dishwasherindia.com. You just have to add the last part of it, which says sitemap underscore index.xml. Make sure you don't copy this /after.com. Otherwise, it will say it is invalid, right? So make sure the / is there and then followed by sitemap underscore index.xml, and click on submit here. And it'll take some time for Google to understand that you've submitted it. Here it says sitemaps submitted successfully, and you'll get the status here. And what happens is the next time you, maybe after a week or after a month, you go back and come here and you check this, you will start noticing that the discovered URLs have started populating, right? So you just start creating, publishing post inside your WordPress, and everything happens automatically. You don't have to index each of your page every time, which is why we are creating sitemap. Is that clear, guys? So if you want to also index categories, make sure you remove that categories part from your robot.txt file and add them inside your rank math here. You can probably use any other plugins as well. Yoast SEO also creates sitemap for you. There are plenty of other plugins as well for WordPress and for other hardly hard coded websites, the developer will know what to do. You just have to tell him that these are the categories that I need, right? Yes, Shanta, you can just like let me just check the task sheet here. Share the screenshot of your sitemap from Search Console, right? So what you have to do is like you have to go here under sitemaps. You take a screenshot of this entire page, which shows status as success, and paste it here in your question number 4. Is that clear, guys? Can we hop on to the next question? Let me know. All right. So the next one is for mobile SEO. It says install the AMP plugin and implement AMP on at least one of your blog posts and share a screenshot of the AMP plugin from the WordPress plugin section, and then share the URL of your blog post for which AMP is enabled. All right. So what we can do is first we have to go into plugins, click on add new, or I guess it's already installed here. So I'll just click on installed plugins. Right, you just have to search for AMP plugin, and the author here is AMP project contributors. So just make sure you install this particular plugin for AMP. And once you do that, you should be able to see that it's been linked under your left hand sidebar menu bar here. So hover around AMP and like click on settings here, and yeah, so you should be able to see this configuration screen, and you have to choose transitional. That's what is recommended for you guys. Anmol is asking, can you show AMP pick? What do you mean by show AMP pick, Anmol? Do you want to know what plugin it is? You just have to go to add new under plugins and just search for AMP, and search for the one that is from the author AMP contributors. You just have to install it, and you'll see that the settings has appeared here. So once you do that, you just have to create transitional here, and that's what is recommended. So what it does is it will have the same theme for both your desktop and the mobile version, and it'll also have the non-AMP version of your website and the AMP version of your websites. Right, that's the only difference. And Reader will create two different themes, one for your mobile and one for your desktop version. We do not want that as of now. And under the advanced settings, make sure you like toggle off this redirect mobile visitors to AMP here. And then this is something you have to check. Under supported templates, just open up this section here and see if this particular toggle is turned on. Right, by default what happens is you would have toggled on this particular option, and what it does is it will turn on AMP for your entire website, the all pages that you've created, all the posts that you've created, and everything. So what you can do is toggle off this particular option here. So what this allows you to do is you can just select one of your posts and turn on AMP for that particular post just for the assignment purpose. By default, your Astra theme is super light, and it restricts all the junk files that need not be there on your website, and it reduces all your CSS file and JSS file and everything. So by default, you do not have to turn this on. So just turn this off and keep it as it is. And like from the left hand side, you can select pages and posts for now, and just that, and click on save. By doing that, you would have installed this particular AMP plugin successfully on a website. The next thing that you should be doing is going under post section here, click on one of your posts and turn on AMP for that particular post. So I'll just check this draft post here. Right. Once you do that, if this particular option is not opened, just click on the gear icon here, the settings icon here, and under the post tab, you will notice something called as enable AMP. Right, by default this is turned off now because we changed it in the settings. So what you can do is just for one of your posts, just for the assignment purpose, you just have to turn it on and click on publish. All right, so once you do that, click on view post, right? So this is the default URL for your page and it's not the AMP URL. So let's just see if we can grab the AMP URL for it. Right. 1 minute. Let me see, where do I find that option? So if I go back into AMP settings, let's see what the permalink is selected as. Right, paired URL structure. So this is the permalink for AMP pages. So what you have to do is just open up your post and add in, right? Open up this post in a new tab. And for the default URL, you just add in $AMP. Right, so by default it'll get redirected here. This means that your AMP has been activated here. So for the assignment purpose, what you have to do is share a screenshot of the AMP plugin from the WordPress plugin section. So what you can do is you can go back to your plugin section and just take a screenshot of the AMP plugin, or what you can do otherwise is, right, you can take a screenshot of this page, right, which shows the AMP plugin which has been activated here, or else you come to this AMP settings option here and take a screenshot of this particular page and add it to your task sheet here. And you can also drop in the URL of the post that you have enabled the AMP for, and you can add it here, right? You can add in the URL of the blog post here. You don't have to necessarily add in $AMP, that's fine. Our team will be testing it out. So you just have to drop in the URL of the published post which has enabled AMP. Is that clear, guys? So that's that for your assignment. See, I just showed you all of these things in like a matter of 30 minutes. So it's definitely not going to take too much of your time. The content part might take, so 7 days, I guess, is good enough for you guys to be completing this assignment. All right, guys, that's that. I'll stop sharing my screen and we'll go back to the Q&A tab. Yes, Arpita, you can enable the AMP for a old post, new post. However, we just want one of your posts to be AMP enabled. That's it. You can enable it to whatever post you want and like submit it in the assignment task sheet. Right. Once the assignment is done, you can again deactivate the plugin altogether. You don't need it, necessarily need it. This is just so that you understand the concept of AMP. All right, guys. So that's with the demo for your task sheet. Let me open up the Q&A tab and see what are the questions that are coming in. So now if you have any other questions related to the assignment, you can drop in the Q&A tab. Ankita is asking, I have 3 sitemap. One is about post, second is page, and the third is categories. So is there any problem? I have 3 sitemap, or are you referring to sitemap? I guess that's a typo. I guess you're referring to sitemap. So just like I showed you, Ankita, under the sitemap options under rank math, you get an option to toggle off the categories, right? So that's what you should be doing. So just like I showed you, I'll just show it to you once more. So under the rank math option and sitemap settings option, you'll have this particular section called as categories here. Just click on categories and deselect this particular toggle and click on save changes. That will exclude your categories from the sitemap. So we would recommend that you just have pages and posts for now in order to kind of efficiently use your crawl budget. Because whenever you create a new website, it is obviously going to have the least amount of crawl budget, right? As your site grows, Google is going to add in more crawl budget to your particular website. And there's no definite number to it, right? So don't ask me what is my website crawl budget. There's no definite number to it. It is just an technical term that we refer to. So that's that, Ankita. I hope I have answered your question there. Harshita, keyword research, we will go back and like check it in your WhatsApp group itself. I am going to stick to the other things in this particular assignment because I have to like go through all of these keywords here. So let's keep it in the WhatsApp group for now. Mandar is asking, can I delete the default Hello World page? 100%. You can delete all the default pages that WordPress has created for you. The Hello World post, if there is any pages or if there is any categories, you can just like trash it. That's completely fine. Dodd is asking, what would be the search volume for primary keyword for pillar article? So Dodd, like I said, it depends on your niche, right? So since you've done keyword research for all the long tail keywords, your primary keyword for the pillar article should technically or should logically have a volume of more than whatever you have found out for the other primary keywords, right? Your all the other primary keywords that you have chosen has part of your informational content, it should have more than that. So it depends on your niche. There is no ideal search volume for your primary keyword for your pillar article, but it's the intent that matters behind your primary keyword. Right? I gave you an example of Harshita in the WhatsApp group. So fitness mantra is not actually a keyword that people might search for, right? So you need to choose something, some other topic where you can add in subtopics, plenty of subtopics that you can write detailed articles on it later on. That's what your that's what the job of your primary pillar content is. So make sure your primary keyword is a little broad. It doesn't have too many words. It might have sometimes, but usually it doesn't have too many words in it. It might be 2 or 3 words. And make sure there is some kind of intent. It gives you a broad picture of the entire topic that you can cover. So that's that. There's no definite answer for how much should be the search volume. Definitely it should be more than 30. Like I said, the minimum search volume for your primary keyword should be 30. This rule applies throughout this entire program. Ashish is asking, can I go ahead and like design the website as I want? Ashish, for now, what I would recommend you is don't do anything as such, because what happens is, in case your website is not available when our review team is going ahead and like reviewing your website and your assignment and everything, we will mark it as rejected. So you can maybe keep it after you can do all of those things after the program is done. But if you think that you can like quickly solve all the issues that you might encounter while designing the website, you're good to go. Right? I'll leave that up to you. The ball is in your court. But whenever our review team is going ahead and like checking your website, if the website is down or is not working properly, they will take a screenshot of the page and it will be marked as rejected. We can't come back and like review your website multiple times. That's why. Anurabha is saying, for my Europe travel blogs pillar content, I've finalized 2 keywords: Europe travel planner and Europe travel destinations, which has 50 search volume each. Their quantitative metrics is as follows. I've decided to choose the Europe travel planner as my primary keyword. Also finalized 8 secondary. Should I proceed with it? Yes, Anurabha, that's a very good example of a broad topic as well as your pillar content, and the keyword also is pretty good, right? She has selected something that has like 50 search volume. It should ideally be more, but depending on your niche, if that's the highest that you've found out, it's good. So Europe travel planner or Europe travel destinations, these are the topics, primary keyword that she has selected. So which is wonderful. It's a good topic to cover, and under Europe travel planner you can have like multiple things: restaurants to visit, or the hotels that you can like stay in, or the places, beaches, etc., right? So that's a good pillar topic to select. Do I need to take the screenshot of the rank math score as well for the pillar post to paste it in the assignment? Not necessarily. It is just that we wanted you guys to know how you do it, right? And we have already verified that in your assignment 2 and assignment 3. From now on, we are not going to like validate if you have done it or not. We are not going to do that policing job from now. It's left up to you on how you do it, right? So make sure you get a score of 80. It's well and good for you, but you need not add it in the task sheet. Can I add the sitemap URL inside the robot.txt file as well? No, that's a straight no, right? So understand these things. Robot.txt file is something that you're telling Google not to crawl, and sitemap is a particular file that you're telling Google to crawl, right? These are the important pages that you have to crawl. So if you add your your sitemap URL inside your robot.txt file, your web crawler is going to, your Google crawler is going to visit your robot.txt file first, and that it identifies that it has to exclude sitemap from it, and none of your pages will get indexed. Do you understand the logic behind it, Anurabha, and everybody else here, right? So don't make that mistake of adding in your sitemap URL inside your robot.txt file. Otherwise, all of your URLs will be de-indexed. All right. Harshita is asking how to know what items to exclude if we want to work for clients. It depends on you, Harshita. It depends on you, right? How big is your website? How big is your client's website? So if they've just opened up their website and everything, the crawl budget in the beginning is going to be less, which is why we are restricting to only the pages and the posts, because if that gets indexed, your authority of your website is going to grow, right? But if you think your website has been around for say about 1 year, 2 year, then you can probably index your category pages as well if your client wants that to be shown in the search engine. So for example, say you're working with an e-commerce client, right? And for e-commerce clients, it is a must for them to have the category pages indexed, because they would have like listed a lot of products under this particular product categories, right? So there you have to include your product categories as well. So it completely depends on how your client wants to do it. And if he has been around for like say 1 or 2 years, you can add in the product categories and other pages as well. But there are certain pages that you must de-index, right? For example, WordPress dashboard, it's not necessary. You have to de-index it. And tags and everything. These are again unnecessary pages that would get created in your search engine and might not necessarily help your users with serving content. So think from that perspective and you will be good to go. How I can create a robot.txt file for a big e-commerce website. So if you see the Nike's robot.txt file, or you can just browse any other e-commerce robot.txt file, you'll get to know a pattern, right? That they're following. They're going to de-index all of these things. They're going to index all of those things and everything. So depending on that, you can go ahead and like choose the pages that you have to de-index. Again, it'll depend on you only, right? Because it's for you to tell Google what not to index and what to index. If you feel that your entire website, everything has to be indexed, you don't have to create robot.txt file, or you can keep it blank. That's completely left up to you on what you want to tell Google to index and what not to. But if you do not have an idea about it, you can like browse other e-commerce websites robot.txt file that will give you an idea. Yes, Bhaskar, you can definitely delete the sample page and hello world page from your WordPress dashboard. You don't have to redirect it. Already answered this particular question. Sanjay is saying we do the menu first and then the sitemap. You can do it in any order. It will not affect anything. All right, Harshita, we can definitely take this forward on WhatsApp. For AMP, do we need to write a new blog post, or we can turn on for any existing blog post. You can do it for any existing blog post or the new one that you create, your pillar content. How to change my website theme is Devendra is asking. So what you can do is you can go to appearance here and you'll see the themes option here, right? Give it some time to load. See, you can see that these are the default themes that WordPress has installed for you. So what you can do is just like click on add new theme, find a relevant theme that you like and just install it and activate it. That's it. So you'll find plenty of themes from here, or if you want to install a theme that you've got from any other third-party website, you can just like click on upload theme and drop in that zip file here and it will activate and install. For example, Ocean WP, this is a very good theme for e-commerce website. So what I'll do is I'll just click on install and it will install this particular theme and you can click on activate it and the theme has changed. That's it. Right now you have Ocean WP activated when it says customize here, and Astra has been deactivated. So if you want to activate Astra back, you can click on activate it. That's how you change your theme inside WordPress. So once at this, Sanjeev, I've already showed you how to make table of contents in the previous Q&A session. So you can check that. You just have to install a plugin called as Easy Table of Contents and just configure a couple of options and you're good to go. And to change the font size, again, it depends on your theme here. So I guess since you have the Astra Pro theme, I guess you should be able to see it under Astra options here. Right, you'll see something called as the font size and everything. Yeah, so you'll see all of these options here, right? Astra available Astra Pro modules. So all of these modules are only available in your Pro version of the Astra theme. So what you can do is like first you have to activate all of these modules. If it is not activated, just click on activate all and everything. So then what you can do is customize fonts. You can see that the option is here. You just have to click here and it will take you to the customize page, or what you can do is you can hover around appearance and click on this customize option here. It will take you to this page and here you can play around with the option and see what you want to customize, right? Blog page ke liye, there will be a separate font size option. For the home page, there will be a separate font size option. I would recommend that you watch a couple of videos on how to set up your Astra theme on YouTube and you'll find plenty of videos. All right, because if I go ahead and like show it to you here, it will like take ages. That's that. 1 minute. All right, back to the questions here. Abdul is asking, not sure why we are disabling or disallow /blog/page/ the asterisk mark, right? Because all of the pages, all of the posts that you create is also going to go under your home page, right? It's not going to go under /blog/page, right? Which is why you're like disallowing it, because it's an unnecessary page that will be created. So all the blog posts that you're publishing will go under your domain name / the URL. That's it. So you will not have the necessity to crawl this particular page that you're talking about. So what happens is for Nail Spa Experience, like I showed you, right? So their domain name is different and their blog page, all the posts that we created for them was installed in a WordPress under a different directory. So they had Nail Spa Experience /blog and / followed by all the post URLs. So here it's /page /blog/page. So there are two different things. So which is why you're like excluding it from the robot.txt page. Debashis is asking, if I adopt a story, short story, how to give due credit to author. So Debashis, again, even if you give credit to the author or not, it would be kind of considered as plagiarism, right? It would depend on entirely on Google, on how Google takes it, right? So what you can do is you can like put it under quotes or put it under a different block and write down credits and link back to their website. uh, that way Google might find that particular content has not plagiarized, right? So that's how you can do it. If you're dropping it in the assignment sheet, make sure that you put a disclaimer for the review team telling that this is a story, then this is something that I cannot modify, right? For example, law students, right? If they're writing certain topics on law, there's no way that you can change those particular things, right? It has to be written the way it has to be written, so you cannot change certain things. So wherein you put credits. uh, So Pallavi, by default, if you have enabled the AMP on a particular post, put in question mark after the URL and just click on enter, question mark AMP and click on enter. If it redirects back to your particular post itself, it means that AMP has been enabled. Yes, it's completely fine. We just want you to enable the plugin from the WordPress repository. That's it. Please ignore. Debashis, this is something that I've talked in Q&A for session number 2, the difference between secondary keywords and LSI keywords. So maybe you can like go back and check the recording from Q&A for session number 2. I've given you a couple of examples of how you can segregate secondary and LSI keywords. Shanta is saying, so I've already done the sitemap part of the assignment, and all the time I did not turn off the category sitemap. So when I turned it off and refreshed on GSE, sitemap is still showing pages, posts as well as category index. Is that all right? It's completely fine, Shanta. So what you can do is now you can go back to your rank math sitemap options, turn off the category pages, click on save changes, and the next time Google crawls your sitemap, it will identify that the categories has been excluded now and it will update it, so you don't have to worry. For assignment, even if you have turned on categories, it's completely fine. I have WordPress updates, so can I reinstall the new version? So Devendra, what I would recommend you do is you do all of those things after your program is done, just so that nothing goes wrong while updating the new version. So whenever a new update has come in, right, you have to go through what are the things that have been updated there. Is it conflicting with other plugins that you have on your website and all of those things? So what I would recommend you do is just skip one version of the new update that's available. For example, if you're on the 3.1 version of your WordPress, and if 3.2 version comes in, do not update it to 3.2, and when the 3.3 version comes in, you can update it to 3.2. I just skip one level so that I'm on the safer side and nothing goes wrong. And if you have the Updraft Plus plugin working completely fine, then you can maybe go ahead and like try it out, because you can obviously come back and restore your website. Can you show how to put the previous post to the pillar content? I mean, I just want to see the structure of an example pillar content, like where to put the links of previous post. Sure, Mitra. So what I can do is I will open up our other website and I'll show it to you there. Give me a minute while I log in. Or I guess we can show it from the front end as well. Give me a minute, guys, while I log in. In the meantime, if you have any questions, drop it in the Q&A tab. right. So here is one example from our dummy blog post, dummy website that we have. So you'll see that everything about dishwasher machine, right? So this is a pillar article again. So it talks about everything that comes under dishwasher machine as a topic, right? What is a dishwasher and how does it work and all of those things. So for example, if I scroll down here, so again, it says everything about dishwasher, a brief history of when it was invented and all of those things, and how does a dishwasher work. So now what you can do is, this is a very small section that you can see here, right? How a dishwasher works. It's a very small section here. It just gives you a brief about how dishwashers work. So now what we can do is, I guess we have written a much extensive and post about how a dishwasher works. So I'll just type in here and see if that's available here. Yeah. So you'll see that there's a detailed post on how a dishwasher works and how to use one. Right? This is a smaller piece of content that just talks about how a dishwasher works. So what you can do right now is link this particular article to this particular section here, so that in case the user wants to go ahead and like learn more about how a dishwasher works, he can like go ahead and like open up this article and like start reading about it in depth, right? So this section is very small. So what you can do is you can like just interlink this particular article here, right, with the subheading here. So you can like select this subheading, click on that link option that you find under WordPress and link it to this particular URL. And that's how you have like interlinked it to the other topic from your pillar article. Is that clear, Mitra, or you want me to show a different example or something like that? All right. That's that. Shanta is saying, hey, I just tried entering soachguide.com/robot.txt and it says, that's a typo you have made, Shanta. It's robots, robots.txt file. And make sure you first create the robot.txt file and then check it out. So you can just go to dishwashers. Okay, I'll probably add it in the resources sheet for you to refer to. That's that. So Mitra is asking, you're talking about listicle in the WhatsApp group. Can you explain what is a listicle? So by listicle, what I mean is, so certain websites and certain blogs, for example, 7 places to visit when you're in Bangalore, right? That's a listicle. So before even the user clicks on that particular article, the user clearly knows that he's going to get information on the 7 places that he can visit when he's in Bangalore, right? That's what a listicle means. 7 tips to improve your handwriting or something like that. That includes a number. That's what a listicle is. Or 4 best gadgets that Apple has released in the latest launch. Right? That's what a listicle is. So there's nothing wrong about listicle, but it cannot be a pillar article as such. It can be, but it depends on your niche again. Depends on the topic that you've written on. Hi Shreyas, my primary keyword has a search volume of 400, has informational intent, and my other 2 articles are related to it, and I can interlink easily. Has very less competition in URL and in title, but is a long tail keyword and has 6 words in it. If we count the stop words, is it all right? Yes, completely all right, Debanjali. Again, like I said, you don't have to worry too much about how many the number of words that are there in your particular primary keyword. If it has a volume of 400, it definitely means it's slightly broad, right? And if you can interlink the other two articles that you've already written in this particular piece of content, it clearly meets the criteria. So you can definitely choose it as a pillar article. Sanjeev is asking, since we are writing all the blog post here, can we tomorrow take it to another site? Definitely you can do that, Sanjeev. But make sure that you do not duplicate content, right? So before even you copy and paste this particular content into a new website, what you have to do is you have to go into your search console and like de-index all the pages, so that this particular website has been de-indexed altogether and Google knows that it doesn't exist anymore, and then you copy paste everything. We'll talk about in the later sessions once we are close to ending the program. All right, guys, those were the only questions in the Q&A tab. So if you have more questions, let me know in the drop them in the Q&A tab and I can like quickly answer them. Ankita is asking, my niche is solo traveling in India. So can my pillar content be know everything about traveling solo in India? Definitely, yes. Definitely, yes. You can have like a subtopic saying these are the things that you need to carry while solo traveling. That can be a different article altogether. So you can add that as a subtopic under your pillar article. But yeah, you're good to go with that particular pillar article. But just make sure that you choose good secondary and LSI keywords. All right, guys, looks like we are done with all the questions. Let me know if you have any more questions that you would like me to address. Sure, Ashita, definitely will do. All right, guys, we have 40 people still live. Is there anything else, guys, that I can help you guys with to complete your assignment? Let me know in the chat box. We also have Jackson here and Mangala is also here. I can also see Raksha here from the mentors. All right. Fantastic. I guess that's it. That's all the questions for session number 4. I hope I have answered all of your questions. If you have more questions, you can drop it in the WhatsApp group like always, and I can go ahead and like answer them there. Jackson is also there. You also have the other volunteers there. Can I write about different cosmetic brands, like their best products and compare the products? Can that be a pillar content? Not really, Hajira. That would be more like a review article or like a listicle or like a comparison post, right? So different cosmetic brands will not be like a pillar article, or it can be, right, depending on what brand you're writing. If they have like multiple categories of products that they're catering into, then maybe you can you give me an example of what your topic is going to be, so that like I can like tell you if that's good to go or not? Should our secondary and LSI keywords be the same as the previous post? Not necessarily. You can add in more secondary keywords that are slightly broader than what you have chosen, or you can add in the primary keywords of the blog post that you have written in the previous sessions. That can be a secondary keywords here. Vivek Singh is asking, can there be only one pillar content on a website? Absolutely yes. If it is a very micro niche website, definitely yes. If it is a slighter, broader niche, then you can have like multiple pillar contents. That's that, guys. Okay, looks like how to write content faster by writing it more, right? That's what I can say, Harshita. That's how you have to develop it as an habit and practice it more and more. That's how you can write content faster. right? If you're new to writing content, then you have to do more of it to become faster in it. That's how you gain pace. There's no jadoo we can do here so that you can like write content faster. But yeah, the Amrinder is asking, there's no difference between LSI and secondary keywords. I can change their sequence. So like I said, Amarinder, secondary keywords are something that can go under your subtopics, right? Your subheadings. So choose them as your secondary keywords, and LSI are those keywords that add more context to the content and goes under all of these subtopics as the body of the content. So that's how you can like quickly organize it. Like I want to write about MAC Cosmetics brand and K Beauty brand, which have different range of products, explaining about the products. Hajira, I guess you can do that. So you can say that 10 different products that this particular brand has, and then you can like start listing down all of these different products, and then maybe tomorrow you can go ahead and like write in-depth article on these particular products that you've chosen. You can do that. It's definitely a struggle in the beginning, Mitra. I am not a content writer too. I hated writing content, but now since we have been generating so much of content, it has become a habit for me also. It doesn't matter if you are writing fancy words in your article or not. It's just that as simple as you can get, you can like write it in your own words, just like you're talking to a person. Anmol is saying it means whenever there is an update in our niche, we have to update our pillar article as well. Yes, not just the pillar article. If there is a content change in any of the articles that you have written, you have to keep updating it. A general rule. Any tools or websites to search in depth for a topic other than Google directly? Plenty of tools, Mallikarjun, but I wouldn't recommend you any such tools because I only use Ahrefs to understand what are the content gaps that these people have and where I can like come in and add more value to a particular topic. So I cannot recommend tools that I've not used. There was one such tool which is called as Postpace. I guess it's called as Postpace or Postpace. I'm not really sure. I'll drop that in the chat box. You can check that out. It was on lifetime deal or something sometime back. That's a very good tool for writing content. So basically what that tool does, it analyzes all the other, yeah, Jackson is here, so he has dropped in the link to that particular tool. So what that tool does is it identifies what other people are ranking, which are the other websites that are ranking for this particular topic, and then it will give you the outline of what they have written in just a single page. So you can quickly know what these people have written and write the same subtopics and cover the same topics. Shreyas, do we have to keep the blog as page or post page? So all the blog post that is going, it should be as posts and not as pages. Pages is the ones that you create, such as home page, about us page, contact us page. Those are the pages which is like a single piece of article. Your all the articles that you're writing should go under posts. Bhaskar, it depends. Like I said, you just have to skip one version of it and update the WordPress version. It is recommended that you update because WordPress is allowing you to update the latest version because it has fixed some security bugs or some other new feature has come in on all of those things. It's a good habit to update to the latest version. But what I do is I just skip one of those levels just to make sure that the website doesn't break. I find it strange in adding primary keyword to subheadings. In that way, the keyword gets exaggerated everywhere. So you don't add in primary keywords to subheadings. You mean the primary keywords of your other two articles as subheadings in the pillar content? So I don't think so there is any issue with that. There are plenty of websites that does that. It's a weird question, how to establish patience before the Q&A session so that you can answer us patiently. By doing more Q&A sessions. That's how you develop that skill. Right, I'm doing this for the 5th time, and I've also catered digital Deepak internship batches, first and second. So I've done a couple of Q&A there as well. So that's that, guys. I guess Mangesh, you can use tools like Ahrefs to see what other websites are ranking for, or get married. Now Sumati is going to like find you and like beat you up for saying that. So, all right, guys, looks like we're done with all the questions. So if you have more questions, like always, use the WhatsApp group. So have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and good night. I'll see you in the next Friday's Q&A session. Bye-bye.